There's the button. Hey, everybody, welcome back. John Keating here, learning about the sets I have in my collection. 1977, we are firmly embedded in 1977 at this point, and we're going to talk about some discs. We talked about the MSA discs previously. No different in 1977. We have a few, few different types, wonderful names. But Mike Schechter and his associates, probably one of the most brilliant coups ever pulled off in sporting card history, getting the Baseball Players Association to sign on a dotted line and put stuff on wiffle balls and discs and cups and cakes and all sorts of fun stuff. So kudos to Mike Schechter. You're my hero. Let's talk about this one first, 77 Holiday Inn discs. I have one of these. It's Carl Yastrzemski. We'll look at those later on because they're pretty sexy. They stand out a little bit differently than some of the other discs. Of course, Holiday Inn was a pretty big deal. So that was a national thing. And there were only a few national things up to that point, I think, that MSA was involved in. But this was a giant leap forward for discs, the MSA discs. I also have three of the blank back discs as well. They're all Phillies. And so have those in my collection as well. These aren't expensive, but they sure are fun. So let's get over to Beckett, see what they have to say here. It says there's 70 of them, the Holiday Inn ones, I should say. 70 of the Holiday Inn discs. $14.60 average value, $1,022 total value. A set of these between $200 and $400. So they're not messing around, folks. The Holiday Inn discs are have a little bit of a scarcity, apparently. The popular hotel chain was the distributor of these discs in 1977. They are reasonably difficult to obtain within the hobby. See, it says it right there. Top three before we move on to the blank backs. Let's see here. Nolan Ryan, George Brett, and then in third place, we have Reggie Jackson, Mike Schmidt, and Tom Seaver. So some pure straight up legends in this one. Let's go to the blank back discs. There's 70 of those. Also, $1.34 average value, $93.50 total value, $12.50 to $30 for a complete set of the blank backs. Produced under the auspices of Michael. Says Sheeter, but it's Schechter Associates, MSA, in 1977. The ball player on disc format was distributed by a number of different advertisers. There are many different back variations based on that particular area of distribution and sponsor. The discs are approximately 3 3/8 in diameter. So if you want the area, pi r squared will give you the surface area of these as well. Since these discs are unnumbered, we have sequenced them in alphabetical order. Some of the other sponsors include Chili Willy, Customized Sports, Dairy Isle, Detroit Caesars, Dairy Isle again, apparently, Holiday Inn, Saga, Wendy's, and Zipsies. Unlike 1976, where these discs can be based off Crane discs, these are priced only in each sponsor's area. Please check all the various sponsors for listings. So Beckett's telling us to go out there and do our own research within their platform to find out what each individual is. There's not a multiplier. They're simply just treated as different sets. Of course, Nolan Ryan, George Brett, followed by Johnny Bench, Reggie Jackson, Pete Rose, Michael Jack Schmidt, the greatest third baseman ever, and Tom Seaver are your top three in the blank back. So, of course, we have, again, Chili Willy discs, Dairy Isle discs, Detroit Caesars discs, customized discs. It says Holiday Inn discs, MSA discs, Saga discs, Wendy's discs, and Zipsy discs as well. According to my research, let's get over to TCDB. There they are. Look at that Holiday Inn logo on the front, which varies varies from many of these sets because it's usually just something printed or stamped on the back. 70 of these. Teams represented here are the Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Angels, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Indians, Tigers, Astros, Royals, Dodgers, Brewers, Twins, Expos, Mets, Yankees, Athletics, Phillies, Pirates, Padres, Giants, Mariners, Cardinals, Rangers, and Blue Jays. So the Mariners and the Blue Jays making their first appearance on a disc. Of course, these are not approved by the MLB or licensed, so we don't have to worry about any of those pesky logos. Everybody's airbrushed if they have a helmet or hat on. Hall of Famers, get ready for this, folks. Bench, Brett, Brock, Carew, Carlton, Eckersley, Fingers, Fisk, Hunter, Jackson, Morgan, Palmer, Perez, Robinson, Ryan, Schmidt, Seaver, Stargell, Yastrzemski, and Yount. This is a who's who or a who's whom's or a whom's who of 1970s baseball greatness in this set. So trivia associated. Again, Womp Pk, I think, copied it directly from Beckett OPG, so I will not pay any more royalties. But let's get to the gallery. Of course, we have the Holiday Inn, and look at the back there. Sal Bando leads us off in alphabetical order. Holiday Inn logo on the front, the big old sign that we used to see when we were going riding backwards in our family's station wagon on that bench seat, that killer bench seat, which would put your head right through. Well, whiplash, I guess they call that, right? Reliable reservations, family plan, dependable meetings, clean, comfortable rooms, good food, reasonable rates. Simply call your nearest Holiday Inn. You couldn't go online, folks. Couldn't Google that action. Couldn't go to Expedia. You had to go to the phone and dial up your local or your nearest Holiday Inn. MSA says it down there below. Holiday Inn, home of the little white Miss America pageant sash across your toilet to make sure that somebody let you know that somebody had scrubbed that thing clean for you and put some chemicals on that thing. Home of the chiclet size family soap bar that a whole family of 5 in my case would have to share. And fun times there at the Holiday Inn. Your cups were wrapped in plastic. That's still the case for the most part. But anyway, good times. Sure, there was a bunch of E. coli floating around in the holodrome or whatever they called that indoor pool. Went to a lot of baseball card shows in some of those holodromes or holiday dromes or holiday domes. Anyway, good times. We survived that. Those who didn't, apologies to you and your families, but it made us stronger, is what I like to say. So getting through here, we have, look at these purples and pinks, baby blues for Larry Bow, and there's an orange for Steve Braun. Looks suspiciously like Jay Johnstone, but that's your first Seattle Mariners disc right there, if we're counting. George Brett, of course, Lou Brock. Nobody is wearing a logoed hat. They are all riding inconspicuously on the front of these cards. John Candelaria, though, we figured out we know who he is because he's got a striped stovetop sort of hat there. Jose Cardinal, you can only contain half of his hair. Rod Carew smiling away. I think he's, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that picture in various things. Steve Carlton, he's from Mars. Dave Cash is now with Montreal Expos, former Philadelphia Phillies. Cesar Cedeno. Ron Say, he's the Penguin. Dave Concepcion. Dennis Eckersley as an Indian. And Mark Fidrich, Detroit Tigers. He was on top of the world then. Raleigh Fingers, of course. Fidrich was probably on the disabled list right then. We go on and on and on. Carlton Fisk, Baby Blue. George Foster, Baby Blue. Wayne Garland makes an appearance here. Ralph Garr, he won a batting title. Steve Garvey, whatever dog. Cesar Geronimo. So we have 2 Cesars, a Cedeno and a Geronimo. There's Bobby Grich. He looks like he's wearing a nice tractor hat there. Ken Griffey wants to do bat to ball there with his batting helmet. Don Gullett. Mike Hargrove taking a sweet old time there. Al Hrabowski, he's the Mad Hungarian. Catfish Hunter. Reggie Jackson with the helmet. Randy Jones, we know he was a Padre. Dave Kingman was a Padre as well. Back-to-backers there for the Padres. Jerry Kuzman, Dave LaRoche, Greg Luzinski, he's the Bull. Fred Lynn, how many times will we see that photo used over and over again? Whoever the photographer was who took that was living large by the end of the 70s on royalty checks. Bill Madlock, he's the Mad Dog. San Francisco Giants at this point. Rick Manning, an Indian. John Matlack. Matlock. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to get you confused with Andy Griffith. John Mayberry, Hal McRae, Andy Messersmith. Nice hair you got going on there. Signed a massive deal with the Braves that did not come to fruition, unfortunately, for the Braves. Rick Monday, the Count of Montefusco there. Joe Morgan. Thurman Munson, nice profile shot there in the Fu Manchu, rocking it hard. Bobby Mercer was with the Cubs at this point. Bill North, he's got a ring or two. Jim Palmer, he's got a ring or two. Tony Perez, he's got a pair of them, maybe more. Jerry Royce, he's got a ring. Brooks Robinson, he's got some. Pete Rose, he's got some. Joe Rudy, he's got some. Nolan Ryan has one ring himself. Why am I stuck on the rings? Manny Sanguian, he's a champion. Michael Jack Schmidt, greatest third baseman ever right there. Tom Seaver, Bill Singer, he's kind of a misfit there with the Blue Jays. Willie Stargell, Rusty Staub, Louis Tiant, Bob Watson, looking like the professor, Butch Weiniger, and Carl Yastrzemski, and Robin Yount. We have one more. Richie Zisk, of course, for the White Sox. He's wearing his Pirates hat in that photo, obviously. So Richie Zisk, born 2649, height 6'1", weight 205. That's clearly spelled out there. Born in Brooklyn, New York. Major League Baseball Players Association, yada, yada, yada. So that's that. Let's go over to what they say about the blankbacks. It's the same thing, the same set, all that stuff. Sandy Rusty in the comments section says these Michael Sector Associates discs were used for advertising by several companies who would print their company logo on the back, but are also found with blank backs, which is this set. They also produced a similar set in 1976 with many of the same players, therefore sometimes making it hard to know which year the blank back is from. The only company to use the discs both years is Dairy Isle. So that's a great little tidbit from Sandy Rusty there. Let's look at trivia. Again, ripped from the headlines of Beckett OPG, that information, so I won't go into it there. The gallery, it's simply a blank back, same cards, same beautiful coloring, all that fun stuff. So that's a jaunt through the 1977 MSA discs that I needed to take because I feel more refreshed now. So Basement Tapes number 296, a double shot here. Some would say a double shot Tuesday with the 1977 MSA blankbacks and the 1977 Holiday Inn discs. Good times, everybody. This is what the 70s and food issues we're all about. I know Holiday Inn isn't a food place, but certainly some of these other places like Dairy Isle and all that stuff, Isolays, Crane potato chips from the year before, all that stuff. So bring back food issues. I advocate that now. I'll testify on Capitol Hill if you need me to. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Be safe. Be kind to your cards and to each other.